You think you know everything about Chris Columbus, the legendary director behind some of the most iconic films in cinema history, but what if I told you there are secrets, controversies, and dark decisions hidden behind the scenes that the 67-year-old director, now with decades of career, never wanted you to know? Get ready, because today we're going to reveal what Chris Columbus now says about his most emblematic works, from Home Alone and Harry Potter to lesser-remembered but equally remarkable projects, and we're going to expose the most controversial details that have been buried for years. Creative clashes with major studios, the pressures to change storylines that completely altered the fate of beloved characters, accusations of manipulating child actors to achieve perfect results on screen, and even rumors of tensions between major stars behind the scenes, things that never showed up in traditional interviews, all of this building a very different portrait from that smiling director we know from the making OFS. But before diving into these revelations, I need your support. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell, because that subscription is not just a click, it's what makes YouTube understand that this content is worth showing to more people, and that's how we can keep bringing information no one else dares to share. If you can support even further, use Super Thanks and help keep this independent work alive. But if you can't, no problem. Comment below which part of this story surprised you the most. Your participation also strengthens the community and shows that this content truly matters. And I challenge you to watch this video until the end, because the final revelation we're going to show about Chris Columbus will impact you so much that you'll never look at the behind the scenes of your favorite films the same way again.
Chris Columbus was born in 1958 in Delaware, USA, into a family of Italian immigrants, and from an early age he was interested in storytelling. He began as a screenwriter on films such as Gremlins, 1984, and The Goonies, 1985. Experiences that helped him develop a style that balances adventure, humor, and family emotion. He soon moved on to directing. His first major success as a director came with Home Alone, 1990, which became a cultural phenomenon. Massive box office, kids loving it, adults laughing, and also drew a lot of criticism over whether children's movies should be taken more seriously. This success cemented his reputation as someone who knew how to work with young casts, domestic settings, and comedies that also touch on strong emotional themes, even when masked by humor. Chris Columbus has always stood out for telling moving stories, with humor, family emotion, and worlds that blend the magical with the everyday. And his iconic works demonstrate this clearly. One of the strongest examples is Home Alone, 1990. This film almost perfectly nailed the combination of comedy, physical tension, the traps, the family environment, and the feeling of being alone against the world. All set in a Christmas atmosphere. The protagonist, Kevin McAllister, a smart but vulnerable child who learns to fend for himself, became a pop symbol. The film not only had an immediate box office success, but also entered the cultural imagination as something that repeats every Christmas. Something families revere, quote, and parody. It showed how a film centered on a child could draw crowds, create identification, be funny, and have heart. Later, Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, took this talent of Chris to another emotional level. Robin Williams playing a father who disguises himself to be with his children after a divorce is a vehicle for huge humor. The blatant situations of disguise, confusion, etc., but also for empathy, to show the pain of separation, guilt, and the desire to be part of his children's lives. This balance of physical comedy or absurd situations with real human feelings marked for many viewers something beyond just laughing. It made them cry, reflect. The impact lasts to this day. Mrs. Doubtfire is remembered not only as a comedy, but as a work that spoke about family, identity, and paternal love in a way that endures over time. Another monumental work is the adaptation of Rowling, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, in Brazil, Pedra Filosofal, and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Taking on the first two films of a gigantic saga, with a very demanding fan base, was a Herculean task, and Chris Columbus accepted the risk of visually building the world of Hogwarts, the creatures, the magical settings. All of this before modern visual effects had evolved as much as today. He had to decide things that later defined the franchise's overall aesthetic. Castings: Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint. Sets: production design. The castle, the corridors, the train, Gringotts Bank, etc. The sense of mystery and expectation. And he did it almost without close references, because fantasy books of that scale had rarely been adapted with such ambition. The result was a global success, a cultural phenomenon that goes far beyond box office. It generated merchandise, theme parks, fan art, debates about fidelity to the book, influence on generations of children who grew up reading and watching, as well as inspiring other filmmakers to adapt fantasy with respect for the source. Columbus didn't stop there. There are other works like Adventures in Babysitting, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Stepmom, among others, that helped define his style. A combination of humor and humanity, characters who are vulnerable, tense moments but always with emotional turns, and close attention to family relationships. Even when critics clipped his edges, some found his films too sentimental or predictable. There is something few directors achieve: making the audience feel that it matters. He builds films that unite several generations. As for the cinematic impact, it is multiple. First, Columbus helped revive and reinforce the family film genre in the 1990s, showing that this type of movie could be a blockbuster, could generate profit, and could please both adults and children. Second, he was important for young actors. He seemed to understand the demands, pressures, and turmoil of early fame. And this appears in his interviews, saying he cared about the environments of young actors, how exposed their homes could become, the moral responsibility of guiding young talents. This is not just about talent, but about work ethics on sets involving children. In addition, his aesthetic vision in Harry Potter defined much of what the public imagines when they think of Hogwarts. Colors.